Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Now if this is your very first time here, my name is FiddlinJonny and it's my Fiddle channel and magic product review. And before I do any magic product review, I always do a quick fiddle tune. And since we're so close to Christmas, and I know many of you out there celebrate Christmas, I thought I'd do a Christmas tune. So sit back and enjoy, and then we'll get right into the product review. All right, there's a little silent night. However, as silent as that night is, I'm going big and loud on this release. This is Loki by Dadswell. And this was such a fun delight. I purchased this one on my own because I was interested in it. I like the looks of it. Now you're going to hear my perspective on it. Please do stick around. I think you'll be interested in hearing more about Loki. Okay, let's talk about Loki by Dadswell. And it's hard for me to hide the fact that I freaking love this release. And I guess I should say why I purchased this. Because I saw the trailer for it and I immediately was curious about the method. I'm not sure I was curious about like, oh, this is something I want because I want to perform it. I just couldn't quite work out what the method was. And I kept thinking, oh, there's got to be some shells involved and maybe it's magnetic in some way. Or there's a swap that occurs that's done very slyly. I was just so wrong. And I can't believe I didn't pick up on what the method is because I freaking love this method. And it's really more process probably is used as the method. Once I got it and had it in my hands, I went, of course this is the reason I love it because I love this method that's involved here. So obviously I can't spell out the method for you, but stick around and I'll sort of drop some hints along the way. All right. What is Loki? The effect is that you take and borrow a spectator's ring, and you borrow your spectator's ring and you're going to have them put it onto a padlock and you're going to secure it and lock it on the padlock. I shouldn't have the proper key in there right away. And you're locking it on there. You then will have 3 keys that are introduced, and the 3 keys your spectator will make the choices, and whatever choices they make, the key that the spectator chooses will be the key that will unlock the padlock. Pretty good, pretty straightforward routine. I think if you're presenting and you're a good or great presenter, they'll go like, well, they made all their choices freely, and they do make all of their choices freely. There's no equivocate, anything of that sort. There's no forcing that's going on. It is freely their choice. But they will begin to think, as you might begin to think, well, perhaps those other keys that you have will also open up the lock. That's when you're able to do the reveal that the 2 other keys are normal keys that have not been cut. They can even attempt to see if they will work, and they will not, because They are exactly as stated. These are just two keys that are not gimmicked. They're simply not cut keys. There's only one key that opens it, and that key is not gimmicked either. It is the key that unlocks the padlock, and it's not a gimmicked padlock. It is a normal padlock with a normal key. That's the effect. I love the kicker ending that like suddenly folks think, oh, I got it figured out, and then sort of fries their brain that no, they don't. And the beauty of it is that you can perform this with all of the props in their hands the entire time. You start clean, you end clean, and everything is examinable. Okay, let's talk about what are you going to get. I love this box, and they've done such a beautiful job on the packaging. You're going to get one padlock. It is a normal padlock. In fact, you can look these up. Theirs is the Triple C padlocks. They come out of China. You can go look them up. They cost about $15 a piece, I think, those padlocks. You're also going to get 2 key rings. You only need 1 key ring to perform. They've essentially just provided you an extra one. And they're nice, good quality key rings. So you're going to get 2 key rings. You're going to get 2 uncut keys. You're obviously going to get the key that unlocks the padlock. You're going to get, with that, a total of 3 keys for the padlock. You need only 1 for the presentation. I think they provide the extra 2 simply in case you lose one. If you lose one, you've got 2 backups. But they will never be, the extras are never in performance. You're also going to get 1 streaming downloadable video that is hosted on the Vimeo platform, and the tutorial is 45 minutes and some in change in length. What's not included? A ring. You'll have to provide your ring or whatever it is, your spectator. The ring is not provided. All right, so let's talk about how are the instructions. The instructions are great. They're fine. They're done by Peter Nardi and Adam Dadswell, the creator of this routine. They host it. They go a little bit into the history in that this was released originally at Blackpool this last year in 2024. And it was released through a different magic company, through Sterling Magic, which I think is Chris Congreve's company. And Alex Zamfolk saw it, and Peter Nardi said, we would love to buy the rights to it. They purchased the rights to it, and they've made some small changes to it, cosmetic, and that's with the keyring, adding the keyring to it, a specific keyring. So I think that's pretty much the only change to this, but they now have the rights and have released it through Alakazam Magic, where you can find this exclusively through Alakazam. I think it's exclusively through Alakazam. All right, so in the tutorial, the 2 of them basically go through everything you need. There are 4 live performances on there. And the nice thing about the performances and going over method and routine is a lot of like the what ifs. What if they pick the key during this process? Or what if they pick the correct key at this point? Or what if they pick the wrong key at this point? How is that handled? If they do a nice job, you get to see it in live performances. So you get to see exactly what it looks like in a live performance. At this point, I'm going to knock out what is one of the methods. Is the method a forcing? No. Is it equivoque? No. Is one of the keys gimmicked? No. Are any of the keys gimmicked? No. Does it use a shell? No. Does it use a magnet? No. I've basically eliminated methods. I hope that's helpful for folks. No mirrors, no strings. Thank goodness. Why would you want a string? Okay, so let's keep going with the tutorial itself. So I love that. I think one of the things that stuck with me in the tutorial is that Adam Dadswell uses a quote, and he says, "The decisions the spectator makes will always lead to the key that opens the lock." I'll do it one more time. The decisions the spectator makes will always lead to the key that opens the lock. And that's a key, pun intended, part of the method. The method is really a process, and it's hidden just in plain sight. So if you're somebody who worries about, do I need to know sleight of hand? There's no sleight of hand in this. Do I need to worry about angles? There's not a single angle issue in this at all. Or do you have to worry about a gimmick breaking? There's no gimmicks. All right. So it's all about the process. They do talk about things in the tutorial about like pocket space. This lock is really pretty heavy. And if I put it in certain pockets for performance, it's heavy. So I'll probably just either keep it in my gig case and then pull it out from the gig case, or attach it and hang it from a belt loop on my pants. I think will be just as good. Okay, enough on the tutorial. Let's talk about the gimmicks. There's no gimmicks. They're all props. If you do not like the lock, if you do not like the uncut keys, go get different ones, because it doesn't matter. All right? It just doesn't matter. It's wonderful that they've provided these for you. They could have made it just a download, to be honest, but they've provided really, really nice props for you, and but none of them are gimmicked. Quality, they're all good quality, so I don't have any issues with them. I'm not exchanging any of them out, but if I wanted to, I could. If you want to, you can. All right, what's the skill level? This is beginner. It's 100% beginner, and despite that it's beginner, it is a professional pro level worker type of a routine. So, but it doesn't matter if you're brand new in magic and this is your first effect, you'll be able to perform this right away, and with no skill other than your presentation skill. And this sort of effect allows you to really build a great performance. When I think about like what are the pros and the cons, or the things I wish I'd known if I were on the other side of this camera, I guess I'll start with, I freaking just love the effect, because it really feels like a free choice, and it is a free choice. All made by the spectator. Everything can be inspected at the beginning. Well, not really at the beginning, because you don't want them inspecting the keys, but everything's inspectable at the end. So, and the bulk of the performance can be done where they hold all of the props, which is awesome. It allows you to really play up your performance and focus on the procedure for a great presentation. It's just a nice piece of mentalism, and you can frame this effect in terms of whether are you doing influence? Is it about their trusting their intuition? Is it about prediction? So you can sort of frame this in sort of whatever your preferred mentalism approaches, and I think that's nice to look at, like the versatility of this. I will say one of the reasons I really like this, Steve Cook came out with the Gamble. He came out with a number of different releases, but Steve Cook released the Gamble, which is one of my favorite releases. It made my top 10 list of best magic products in 2020, and it uses a very similar method, and I love that method, and I like to perform it because I think I love how it feels for the spectator, and same sort of thing here. It feels great for the spectator, and they cannot reverse engineer how this is done. That it's just not possible. They will not reverse engineer it. So it's a method that's versatile. And I think after purchasing this, what I realized is that I have not spent enough time with this method and thinking about how I could scale it or change it or apply it with different objects and creating new routines. And I would challenge any of you who get this to come up with maybe some original routines with not even this set of prompts, with a different unique set of prompts, and go from there. If you decided to use these props, you do not have to just put somebody's ring on here. You could take large chains and tie people up with chains and padlock them together. You could chain two people together at their belt loops, or if they're wearing jackets, maybe through their buttonholes. There's a lot of different ways you can put this presentation together in terms of just padlocking people or things together. And method is still the same. So I love the versatility given the method. Okay, so also Steve Cook did, I'll leave it at that. I'll say on the con side, it's not repeatable. You're going to perform this once and that's it. You're not going to do a second performance for your audience. So we'll just leave it there. So for some people that might be a deal breaker. Not for me. It's a strong effect, and I'm okay not performing it twice. I love the kicker engine because people do think, oh, it must be the keys and they all work. Nope, they do not, and they can try because they're uncut keys. If you're the sort of person who worries like, oh, my spectators are going to notice the uncut keys and that sort of isn't a good aspect of it, trust me, I have flashed these in front of folks and they just never notice that they are uncut. So, I mean, really, you can practically shove it in their face and they will not notice that they are uncut. Because during the performance, they don't know what they're looking for. They just think they have normal keys in their hand and they're mixing them up. So, again, it's another layer of this that I really like. I'll also say that, like, I think the padlock that you get is really high quality. It probably will last a long, long time, but it is heavy. If you think it's too heavy, just go buy a different padlock that's lighter. The effect will still work. Okay. When I think about who's going to like this, first of all, it's going to be mentalists who love to do close-up magic with objects that can be freely inspected by your audience. And yeah, I think that's who's going to like it. Close-up mentalist who like EDC. It's a great everyday carry, quite honestly. All right, let's talk the cost. The cost in the United States is $54. For me, this is going into my gig case and is something I know I will now perform for the rest of my life. Maybe not at every gig, but it is now in my long-term case of worker magic, stuff that is commercial. And this is commercial magic that any professional will freaking love. So anyway, the cost of $55, I think it's a great cost for a worker piece of magic. All right, that's it. If you purchased Loki through Alakazam Magic, leave a comment down below and tell me what your experience is. Maybe something I didn't touch on that would be good for the community to know. Maybe there's something you didn't like about it. Share that down below. If there's aspects you love about it that I didn't mention, leave that down below. I would love to hear that as well. Also, if you have not yet hit that like button or you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? I'm here all the time. I'm not going anywhere. Subscribe to the channel so that you can get the greatest and latest in magic product reviews. Okay, sorry about that. Thought I turned off all my ringers. At any rate, thanks everyone for being here. I'm FiddlinJonny. And remember to keep fiddling around with your magic. I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.